So Springtrap and Mangle has turned 10 years old.
You're old.
That's right, on this date, September 25th, it has turned a decade old. This isn't like the show's debut date. Season 1 started back in April, and that was at the time when it was called Springtrap meets Mangle instead. This season, on the other hand, has been ongoing as long as Statue 37's show, and we still don't have episode 12. According to Quiet Tomato, it was reworked in 2023 because the original files for the episode got lost on a computer. This guy has horrible luck with computers for some bizarre reason. Even with that issue, we still have seen progress and previews on it, and it seems to be more ambitious than I expected it to be. I'm still keeping my promise to cover the new episodes once this show ends. Assuming that I wouldn't retire from YouTube, of course. It's worth noting that Quiet Tomato makes other stuff outside of Sam, which I felt like I should have mentioned in my original video. He is making a thesis short film and it looks promising. He keeps blowing up on Twitter due to his art looking honestly impressive. If he can improve his artwork from crude MS Paint to this, then there is no excuse for an AI artist.
So if you're an artist and this is upsetting you, I want to promise you that it's only going to get worse.
He even created an original trans character that got Twitter users losing their minds over her. Here's my ranking if you're wondering. Anywho, just because the episode isn't out doesn't mean that I don't have anything to celebrate this show's anniversary. It took a lot of thinking about what I wanted it to be, but I figured that the best way to celebrate this show's anniversary is by covering something that I didn't go into in my original video. And that is the crossover between Quiet Tomato, who was called Corporal Shepard back then, and Crazy as Crazy. The reason why I never talked about this crossover is that it's not canon to the main show. As I mentioned in that video, Jenny straight up references the crossover as something Crazy as Crazy made on YouTube. Which is funny because her ghost mom shows up in it. And you would think that she would freak out about the fact that her dead mom just shows up in an animation made by this guy of all people. It's not that serious, by the way. The show is already trying to change a lot of stuff in its lore. Crazy is Crazy, who I'm just gonna refer to as Mark, was a frequent side character that showed up in Sam, alongside his original characters like Rick and Jep. Remember these guys. A bit of recap on him: he's a Dutch animator who makes similar content to Quiet Tomato, down to the MS Paint animation even. He got some awareness from making amateur animated music videos about FNAF, and even got more popular with a FNAF animation based on a classic Gmod video. I like how he titled one of the music videos with the word cringe, but I don't know, the only cringy thing about this is that it's being sung by Banjo-Kazooie. So what do you take two FNAF animators that use the same drawing tool and also just so happens to be friends with each other? You get a crossover between the two. This lasted from October 23rd, 2015 to February 1st, 2016, clocking in about 40 minutes. And how did both fans react to it? This was a YouTube equivalent of Jimmy Timmy Power Hour for some FNAF fans. And I have grown up with these two crossovers, so there's that. The funny thing to mention is that this crossover was my first introduction to Crazy is Crazy. I ended up checking out his channel because of how much I liked the special. So after almost 10 years since the crossover started, I rewatched it for this video. And how was it? Well, let's dive in. So remember the plush trap video that ended like this? Well, instead of combusting into ashes, Plush Mangle was instead thrown out of the window. Mark comes in and picks them up as Shepard points a gun at him. That's one hell of a way of meeting your friend for the first time. Thankfully, Shepard recognizes who he is and puts the gun down. Marcus gives Mangle their plush back and Rick comes in to say, "Did you saw that fag?" Whoa there, what the fuck? I forgot that he said that. And what makes it funnier is that Rick is canonically gay. Friendly fire much? Mangle does find out about this. In a Christmas special, of course. Now, an important thing to mention about this crossover is that Mark and Shepard don't live in the same universe. This is evidenced by the fact that both of them refer to the place that they came from as a dimension. What gets me about this is that Mark didn't get into Shepard's universe by a dimensional portal, he just casually walked into his dimension. The only explanation I can think of is that some doofus decided to open a portal in the middle of nowhere, and it resulted in two universes interacting with each other. Did G-Man command Shepard to do this? I can offer you a battle you have no chance of winning. Or you could visit Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria. The animatronics from Shepard's universe go to the restaurant from Mark's dimension and are surprised to see a different version of themselves, including Mangle. Guess who's not happy about this? To clear up some confusion, I'm gonna refer to Shepard's Mangle as Toy Foxy and refer to Mark's Mangle as Crazy Mangle. You got that? Cool. Good. Later, we get to the scene where Mark and Jeb meet Jenny for the first time. This is the same scene from the original Sam, but has a lot of differences. In the original, it took place at night, both of them didn't know about Jenny before, and Jeb cuts himself off from saying that he's a drug dealer. In the crossover version, it takes place in the morning, and during Mark's universe, both of them knew who Jenny was because of Shepard's videos. What the fuck is he making there? Mark has a normal skin color instead of green. I am very green, what I mean. And a few scenes later, Jenny knows that Jeb sells drugs. Why does this imply that he told a 6-year-old that he sells drugs? Are you stupid? Yes. Shepard finds out about Jeb's drug empire, and because he just so happens to be a cop/FNAF animator, he wants to arrest him for that. How does Jeb defend himself from Shepard? Well, he grabs the knife and throws it. It's his way to distract him as he strikes a punch at him, but that did nothing because he has a gun. But don't worry, Shepard is equally stupid because he misses every shot at Jeb, just like a real cop. Jenny gets to reunite with Toy Foxy just like in the original show, although it doesn't have music from Spider-Man 3, which is lame. However, Crazy Mangle doesn't like this because she thinks that Toy Foxy has a new best friend, and Crazy Mangle doesn't have anyone as she is so lonely. She creates a plan that has her inviting Toy Foxy to her restaurant for a birthday party at midnight. But unfortunately, they get half an hour late, and how does Crazy Mangle react to that? Well, it's quite simple. She blows up the fucking pizzeria in her universe, even killing the animatronics there. What did they even do? No wonder why you don't have friends. Fuck you! This plan ends up getting her killed and turns into a phantom. Everyone from Shepard's universe gets to speculate about who caused this damage, and Shepard immediately suspects that Jeb did it for some reason. I feel like this suspicion would make sense if the pizzeria from Shepard's universe was the one that blew up, but no, he thinks that Jeb did it and Toy Foxy crushes his balls. Those are made out of steels apparently. They put him in a room while tied up, but Crazy Mangle shows up and tells him that she will free him if he agrees to her plan of killing Jenny. He agrees out of desperation, and I thought that she was gonna teleport him out of the room, but no. It turns out that Shepard locked Jeb in a room with a window to the outside. Wow, what a great cop you are. Jeb encounters his friends, and Crazy Mangle forces him to say that Shepard was the one who caused the explosion. Oh look, it's Jennifer enjoying her lollipop. I bet nothing bad is gonna happen to her. Did he punch her? That son of a bitch! You know, when you think about it, from her point of view, Jenny is having the worst week in her life. Like, think about it. She was planning on moving into a different place, then Purple Guy kills her and gets brought back by strangers and turns into a robot, and then realizes that she woke up decades later with all of her loved ones died except for her favorite animatronic. Then, after reuniting with them, she gets knocked out and kidnapped by some guys from the Netherlands. This poor girl makes Cassidy, Charlie, and Vanessa tame in comparison. So Papyrus shows up. Did you know that Mark don't like the game Undertale? I call bullshit on that. Crazy Mangle thrusts Toy Foxy into the closet and straight up tells them that she wants to kill Jenny. You were always playing with her, and at that moment, I felt like a goat. She makes an offer to them that she will spare Jenny if she turned Toy Foxy into a phantom. They react to that information in a chill manner. Crazy Mangle goes to check if the kidnappers didn't kill Jenny, and while they say no, someone drives the van that has Jenny and proceeds to run over the two kidnappers.
Good riddance.
She feels bad for what happened, and lo and behold, Jenny's mom, Samantha, shows up to fight Crazy Mangle. They get into a fight and it's quite underwhelming. They possess two guys for like 10 seconds. Sam crushes the Endo head with her bare hands, and Crazy Mangle spares her from getting killed because it's not the right thing to do. As if that bullet didn't make her dead anyway. That's about it really. Well, that's not right. I thought it was gonna be like this. The van ends up crashing into the pizzeria because Sam took control of Mark to run over the kidnappers, but forgot to stop the van before leaving. Crazy Mangle takes control of an unconscious Mark as she explains what just happened. I wonder what Shepard thinks about this. I'm starting to think Mark is really crazy now.
Say that again?
Turns out Jeb was in the van protecting Jenny from the kidnappers. Mark has recovered from the hospital because that's apparently a common thing with guys named Mark. Even the kidnappers who were run over before. How did these guys survive while looking like this? Well, from my experience, it is possible to survive a van running over you. That's not a joke, by the way. Back in 2017, I got run over by a van. I don't know how I survived. Crazy Mangle shows up and tries to make amends with Jenny. She forgives her, and Mangle demands that Springtrap turn them into a phantom so they can interact with Crazy Mangle. The whole crossover ends with the most pro way possible. A fist bump.
Love you.
On the surface level, this isn't as wild as you would expect from the main show, despite the unexpected slur, but it was an interesting revisit to it, and I really do miss when YouTubers did this kind of thing. When they do this ridiculous yet entertaining crossover, and you can tell how much fun they were having. The thing that makes this crossover between Quiet Tomato and Mark interesting to me is the aftermath of the crossover. Mark created a show based on Crazy Mangle from the crossover called Crazy Mangle and Phantom Foxy, which is completely nuked from the channel. This isn't like Sashi 37, where a few of the episodes from season 2 were removed due to a copyright problem. I get the feeling that he doesn't like the show, and for that I will not cover it. As for both creators, not only are they still friends, but they're also still fond of the crossover to this very day. Quiet Tomato remade his Plush Trap video, and the ending has a reference to the crossover with better animation and even Quiet Tomato and Mark voicing themselves.
What's this?
That's not yours.
I love how he drew Shepard, by the way. He's aura farming while pointing a gun at his friend. As for Mark, he likes to talk about the crossover and even made a short animation to celebrate its anniversary. I have talked to Mark before on his private server and he seems like a chill guy. He even drew a silly drawing of me face kicking Springtrap. It's so goofy and I adore it. In case you are wondering, I am no longer on that server because I got hacked by a crypto pedophile, and if anyone got a message from that account that said this, block it, and I'm sorry if it bothered you. Man, last year was a fucking joke. So yeah, I finally bit the bullet and talked about this crossover. This was an entertaining way to celebrate 10 years for Springtrap and Mangle. I'm still not gonna cover any other FNAF fan show, sorry.
No.
Even with what's going on right now and how long the episodes are taking to be released, I will be there when this show ends. We'll see what happens. While we are here, I want to talk about a common thing that's being said in the original Sam video. I know that the random guy from the trailer was not Quiet Tomato, but instead Michael Afton. Do you have any idea how many comments I get from that? I still get it to this very day, even with the correction in my pinned comment. If I find one more comment like that, I will lose my fucking mind!